Hello friends, Namaste, Sashrikal, Assalamu Alaikum and Jai Yeshu. It's your friend Rajat back again with yet another tutorial video. And in this tutorial video, we'll be talking about how you can avoid mistakes and increase the stats and rating of a player by training them. If you feel this video will be helpful to you, do hit the thumbs up as well as subscribe the channel if you haven't yet subscribed the channel. Let's head straight into the video and talk more about this tutorial. We will discuss in brief and we'll be dividing it into two parts. First part is how to increase player level and the second part is progression point. So starting off with the first part, how to increase player level. For that you'll be needing experience points. So how you can get experience points? You can get experience points by two ways. So the first way through which you can get experience point is level training program. So how you can get this level training programs? You can get this level training programs by completing certain events, releasing certain players, and you can also get them in eFootball store with your eFootball point. The second way by which you can get experience point is by playing matches. So the experience point that you get in this will vary depending according to manager's coach in Affinity. Is something known as coach affinity. So every coach has different affinity. These are some examples of affinity. So the manager that I had chosen had star player affinity. So you can see Alisson, Neymar and Pedri, they all are 5-star rated cards. So 5-star rated cards will get better experience point. Now I'll be showing you with a video so that your all doubts and queries get solved. So first I'll be showing you the example of how we can increase experience points by level training program. For reference, so we are doing it for N'Golo Kante. We went to level training and we are using experience points to increase his level. So as you can see, I did proceed and the portrait of N'Golo Kante completely changed. And before that also you saw beneath that level 26 when we were trying to increase, we got something named as 50 progression point, about which we'll be talking about next because that is our next important topic. Now we'll see the example of the second way of getting experience point, that is by playing matches. After completing the matches, when I proceed, you'll be getting somewhat like this experience point for certain players, and you also got progression point for certain players for playing matches. This is how you can get experience points via two ways, that is level training program and by playing matches. So now we come to the second and the last point of this tutorial, that is known as progression point. So what is progression point? So progression point is when a player gets leveled up, he receives something known as progression point. So as you saw in the previous example of how to increase player level, when his level increased, he got 50 progression point. So that is progression points. So what is the utility of this progression point? With this progression point, you will be able to develop the stats and rating of a player. You can see in the screen, there is another button named as suggested. So suggested will automatically allocate the progression point by the game itself, but I will suggest you not to do it. So now the question would be where to use this progression point. So the progression point should be used in two places. You have to use in both the places for the player's betterment and your team's betterment. So what are the two places? That is your player stats and your team playstyle proficiency. So we'll be talking individually about both of them. Okay, so now we'll talk about the first place where you can allocate your progression point, that is your player stat. In this, you can see there are various attributes. So now all these attributes have been clubbed into 10 categories. So what all those 10 categories are, you can see there. So when you give progression point in shooting category, your finishing, place kicking and curl stat will increase. So similarly for passing, your low pass and lofted pass stat will increase. For GK3, goalkeeping, catching and goalkeeper reflexes stats will increase. So this is the first place where you can use your progression point in the section of player stat. Now the second place where you will be using your progression point is a section known as team playstyle proficiency. This is very important because it will impact how your team will play. So whatever progression point you give for a player under any section, that is your position, quick counter, long ball, counter, out wide and long ball. So that will impact the team playstyle as well. So whatever is your team playstyle, familiar the particular player in that playstyle. And if you do that, your player's performance will be good, as well as you'll get something named as manager boost. That is, your player's rating will increase. So in order to know more about it, you can watch the video that is pinned in the chat. This is where you can use your progression point, the two places where you can use your progression point. There is a player stats and team playstyle proficiency, and both are very important. Don't skip out on any. I'll suggest you, I'll not say you try to do it on both. I'll say you have to do it on both, because it will be very helpful for you when you set your team. So now I'll be showing you certain videos in how I increase the ratings, as well as how I use the progression points in both player stat and team playstyle proficiency. I went to player progression. So I have two options, team playstyle and player stats. So I went to player stats and I started increasing whenever you use progression point, just keep one thing in mind. When you use progression point from 1 to 4, your one progression point will get deducted. So now when you reach progression point 5 to 8, your 2 progression point will deduct. And when you reach progression point 8 to 12, your 3 progression point will deduct. And now when you reach 12 to 16, then your 4 progression point will deduct. So now I go to team playstyle proficiency. I give him position playstyle boost as well. And finally, we took the decision and we used the thing to develop our player. And yes, our N'Golo Kante is now a 94 rated without the manager. We'll take him inside the squad and we'll check how much boost he's getting. See, as I have added him in the squad, his rating increased from 94 till 96. So this is the rating of N'Golo Kante with manager boost. So with this, we come to an end of the example of where and how you can use your progression points. As you know, we present bonus tips at the end of every video. So in this tutorial video also, we have given you certain bonus tips. This will help you in training the players very effectively. First of all, I would like to thank Santosh, our channel member as well as subscriber, who provided us this in a written format. It has been segregated for all the positions, what attributes you need to increase the stat so that the rating and the stat increases. So I'll not discuss it one by one. It's written out there. You can just go below it, because this might help you a lot. So with this, I come to an end with this tutorial video on how to train players effectively and avoid mistakes. I hope you found the video to be informative and helpful. If you did found the video to be informative and helpful, don't hesitate in hitting the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Support us so that we can produce more of such videos in future. So that's it, guys, from my side. Rajat takes off.